So welcome back to the channel, guys. It is me, 8744. So today, guys, we do our Europa League and Conference League reaction. There's so much to break down in the stream, guys, that we're gonna have to quickly get started, guys. Now, as far as Matt's channel is concerned, you guys probably wonder where is Matt's. Matt's will join later on the stream. He's gonna be on someone else's stream, and so the idea is that by the time he's done with that channel, he'll come over here. So my idea is that we'll probably talk about the Man United Porto game for last on the stream because trust me, I want to get to it. It's just that I think Matt will join at some point in the stream, so I want to give his reaction. I'll give my reaction at the same time. So we're going to quickly go through the Conference League games, and then we'll go to the Europa League, and then we'll finish out here, man. So I'm going to keep the streamer hopefully around. I want to say like around an hour. I'm not sure, to be honest with you guys. I'm not sure. So hopefully we can get done in an hour. And yeah, hope we can get done in an hour. But we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see how active the chat is, and we'll see how everything is panning out. So let's start, man. Let's start. Chris says hello, man. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, Chris. He says hello. Um, so let's start, man. Let's start, shall we? So now that we got introductions out the way, we're gonna start with the Conference League. So Conference League. So let's go through the matches, man. Matches by round. So I'm gonna start with Wednesday matches first because we actually had some matches on Wednesday. Obviously, I wasn't really, obviously, um, I try to watch as much as I could, but obviously it's really difficult too because the games are at during my work schedule and it's just not really ideal. But it is what it is. So looking at this game, man, Başakşehir won, Rapid Vienna 2, and not. I mean, it is a bit of a surprising result. Başakşehir at home, and you would think that Başakşehir would be good at home, but yeah, it's just kind of a disappointing result. And for Austria, as I said, man, it's a good result for them because I believe the Austrian teams have been down bad. Like none of the Austrian teams have won this week in the Champions League. Like Salzburg got disgraced, Storm Graz lost at home. So it was actually nice to see that this team uh, managed to get a win on the road. And for Başakşehir, man, very disappointed for them to lose at home. You would have kind of expect them not to do that, but it is what it is. And yeah, that's just how it is, man. So shout out to um 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 Rapid Vienna for doing this. Hello, won't be around for long. Rapid Vienna are good in Europe this year. Yeah, I think you could say. I think you could say, and I think this is a really good win for Rapid Vienna on the road. And I think they're an underrated team. Next up is Vitória de Guimarães 3, Celj 1. Shout out to Vitória Guimarães for getting the win. It was to be expected, to be fair. Like Celj is a team that they should be beating, and Vitória Guimarães got the job done. And yeah, so like I said, Portuguese teams are always difficult to play against. Like I said, underestimate Portuguese teams at your own peril because Portuguese teams are difficult, guys. Portuguese teams are not easy teams whatsoever. So I recommend you do not underestimate them. So with that being said, though, I still feel like um. So yeah, I mean it's interesting in that regard, I suppose you can say. Um, Man United sucks. We'll get to Man United in a bit, man. We'll get to Man United a bit. I'm sure you want to discuss about them. It's just that I want to get Matt's reaction, and I'll give my reaction towards the end. So we'll go through. We'll scroll quickly. We'll kind of like scroll through the Conference League games, not go too much into detail, or then we'll get to the Europa League. So my goal is to do like around 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, and then we'll talk about Europa League for the rest of the stream. The Circle Bruges, man, fantastic win for them. 6-2 win against Saint Gallen. St. Gallen, I believe they're one of the lowest ranked teams in this competition. And Circle Bruges, man, for them to do this on their debut is pretty insane. And so shout out to Circle Bruges for doing this, man. Belgian teams had a good week this season on in Europe. Like, Circle Bruges got the win. Obviously, Club Brugge also got the win. And yeah, so it's good to see the Belgian teams do well. And for St. Gallen, man, I knew this would be too difficult for them. Now it's still they can still advance to the playoffs, but yeah, St. Gallen were very disappointing, and yeah, not very disappointing there. And shout out to Denki for getting a hat trick, of course. So moving on, so the next game we got here is Dinamo Minsk one Hearts 2, man. I'll get you guys comments. I'll get you guys comments. What is it called? When I finish my Conference League segment, probably, since I know you guys probably don't have much to say about this stuff. So I figured it'd just be better if I just get through the comments later on. So, um, uh, for Dinamo Minsk, man, it's a good result for Hearts on the road. Getting a crucial comeback on the road is impressive. And for Hearts, man, the Scottish team needed to get a result like this because Scottish teams got blown out. We'll talk about a certain Rangers team of the Europa League because they were absolutely abysmal. And Hearts showed that, hey, Scotland isn't as bad. We can represent Scotland well, and they got a huge win on the road, showing that Scotland isn't just Celtic or Rangers, that they can also compete as well. And I believe they're in the Conference League. I think few I don't think it was last year, but I think they were there the year before last year, if my memory serves me right. So yeah, so shout out to Hearts for getting the away win in Dinamo Minsk. And for Dinamo Minsk, man, very disappointing for them. And yeah, it's just it is what it is. And yeah, so shout out to um uh the Hearts for winning this game. Then FC Astana won, TSC nil. I'm surprised TSC didn't. I'm surprised TSC were very underwhelming because look how dominant TSC were. 24 shots, 5 on target. I don't know how they didn't score in this game. They probably should have scored at least one of the goals. Instead, they didn't. And FC Astana held on to 1-0 lead, and that was enough for them to win the game. So it is what it is. That's just how football is sometimes. Sometimes you're just not going to have luck on your side, and yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. It's just unfortunate for TSC, but FC Astana, man, credit to them. They're a good team, of course. They played a European competition before, and for TSC, this was the second season in a row playing a European competition. Obviously, last season they were in the Europa League, and now this season they're in Conference League. So, yeah. And then, anyways, I'm sorry. I know I'm being very brief with my analysis here, guys. I know I'm not going too much into details, guys, but we have so many games to discuss that I don't want to make this one too long for you guys. And I know more of you guys prefer the shorter stuff than longer stuff. So we got FC Heidenheim 2, Olympia Lubana 1. So shout out to Heidenheim for getting the win there at home. They needed that win, and I think this is a massive win for them because keep in mind, guys, Heidenheim, this is the first season ever in European competitions. They had never played in European competitions before. So it's going to be interesting to see how uh, this team fares and how um, they are like because I feel like for Heidenheim in particular, what's interesting for me is that I want to see how this team can do. Can this team actually do something in Europe this season? Can they actually make it far? Because obviously, a lot of people say for the Conference League favorites will be like Chelsea, and obviously Chelsea rightfully so. Um, Heidenheim is a good team though, so yeah. Olympia Lubana, as Chris is saying, man, they're a good team. Obviously, yeah, Olympia Lubana, they're a good team. Of course, they have heritage. I still feel like though Heidenheim is slightly better, but Olympia Lubana they put up a good game. It wasn't like a clean sweep for Heidenheim. Heidenheim had to really work hard for this. It wasn't a clean sweep, even though they were the better team. You could probably argue throughout the day. Um, Olympia Lubana did their part, and they played as well. They did well, so you can't discredit them, obviously. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. Um, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And then Noah, man, FC Noah, man. I believe they're the. Correct me if in the chat, guys. Are they the lowest ranked team in this year's Conference League? Because FC Noah, man, this is insane. The Noah story is insane, guys. And I've seen a lot of people clown on Noah and say, "Who is this Noah team? What is this team? It's a team for Armenia." And guys, respect Noah, guys. This is the same team that eliminated AAK Athens. AAK Athens and AAK Athens, as we all know, I believe is a Greek mainstay. They usually are the European competitions. So the fact that FC Noah eliminated them in the Conference League qualifiers is a statement in itself. And Chelsea, look out for FC Noah because you better not drop points to FC Noah. But putting that to the side, though, FC Noah dominated this game. They won this game 2-0. Malda Bulsiv, they weren't as bad as the score may suggest, but they just weren't clinical, and the defense let them down. Ultimately, the defense let them down, and FC Noah, man, they put up a good game, but my goodness me, as good as obviously it's a good win. I'm not saying it is a good win, but let's not act like FC Noah were like five, like so much superior. Like this could have been a close game. Like this could have been a game we could have had a high scoring game. You know, instead Malda Borslov just missed a lot of chances. The first half they were bad, but the second half though they were pretty good. So Yeah, I mean, it will be interesting to see what FC Noah can do, man. If they can get a result against Chelsea, kudos to them, man. The Legia Warsaw, man. Shout out to Legia Warsaw. Polish teams are difficult to beat, guys. Respect Polish teams, man. They actually beat Real Betis. And Real Betis, man, I'm sorry to say, guys, I think they're European underachievers. This is the same team that got grouped in last season's Europa League with the likes of Rangers, Spraw, Peraha, and I believe Aris Limassol. They went to the Conference League. They got knocked out by Dinamo Zagreb, a team that, you know, isn't that great nowadays. They're starting to decline. So I really do feel like Real Betis is underachievers. And I actually picked them to win the Conference League this year. If you guys see my Twitter post, I don't know if I shared it on YouTube, but I'll just say it here, I suppose. I got Man City to win the Champions League. I got Porto to win the Europa League, and I got Real Betis to win the Conference League. But I'm now looking very sketchy with Real Betis because they just lost the first game to Legia Warsaw. With all due respect, they shouldn't be losing to Legia Warsaw. I mean, just look at the amount of players they have. Um, you got Roque, Fornals, Wanme, Cardoso, Rubal. Like, it's a very talented team, guys. And don't forget, there's also Isco as well. And Isco, I believe, is injured. Yeah, he's injured. So I feel like for Real Betis, it is concerning. And obviously, maybe I am being a bit reactionary here. Maybe, it is obviously just one game after all. And to be fair, they were on the road. So maybe you have to put that in consideration. But still, like, it's just disgraceful, man. It's just really sad to see what Real Betis is doing. And like I said, they're just underachievers, man. They're really underachievers, and I'm very disappointed with them. And they have Adrian a goal. Oh my jeez, I'm sorry. Adrian is not a good goalkeeper from what I've seen in Liverpool. He's not a good goalkeeper. So I'm worried for Real Betis because obviously Claudio Bravo announced his retirement, I believe. So that'll be interesting to see how Real Betis will do. So it'll be interesting, guys. I mean, Real Betis can obviously still win this competition. I'm not saying they can't, but the chances that it's going to be hard for them to win. Let's put it this way: it won't be easy. Guys, remember, guys, to get the likes up, man. Let's get those likes up. Let's try to get up to 10 likes for today's stream. 10 likes for today's stream. That'll be greatly appreciated. So, moving to the next game we got here, it is Molde 3, Larn nil. Shout out to Molde for winning this game. And yeah, it's not really much to say there. It was pretty routine, I would say. Lauren really didn't offer much of anything. It was pretty once um it was pretty standard. I think this was a pretty standard demolition. And yeah, I mean this was pretty routine. Not really much to say there. And for Lauren, as I said, man, it's just not good enough, man. Not good enough. Moving on to the next one we got here is Omenia Nicosia for Viking Goregev nil. Obviously, Omenia got the win there as expected. This is a good team. I remember they were in the Europa League. I think was a few the few not the season, not last season, but I believe the season before last season. They are a European competition. They usually make they were and they're a good team, guys. They're a good team. I remember I actually struggled to beat them. So Viking Goregev, obviously their second season in the European football as well. Obviously they were in the Conference League last year. So it'll be interesting to see how Omenia does in this edition. Can they make it far? Can they be a dark horse? Because they could potentially be a dark horse, in my opinion. Um, so yeah, they could potentially be a dark horse in my personal opinion there. So yeah, shout out to Omenia, man. Kakali's got the 2 goals there, and Koulibaly. So the center back got a break a goal as well. And yeah, it was pretty routine as win, as I said. Viking Gore didn't really offer. They weren't that bad as the score may suggest, but still, like they were just outclassed. I think they were just outclassed on the day. It was just standard. So yeah. So yeah. And then obviously Bora Banja and Panathinaikos. It was a standard 1-1 draw. Yeah. I mean, you can maybe argue the Greek team were the better team with the amount of possession, the amount of shots, but at the same time, the Boric had a lot of shots on target. And guys, what's the important thing for me is that your shots on target. It's not about the possession; it's about what you do with the possession. That's much more important. So I think it's going to be very interesting because I'll be honest with you, this Greek team, man, they just don't look that great. Because I'm sorry, when you have 70 shots, you can't have two on target. You just can't. How do you like? You have 10 shots the second half, but none on target is really sketchy, man. I'm very concerned for this team because we know Greek teams are generally difficult to beat. They're generally difficult to beat, especially at home. Now I know this was not a home game for them. I know it was an away game, but still, like very disappointing for them. And yeah, man, Boraj Banja, shouts to them for getting that point from a losing position. Should we save the Chelsea game for last? I guess we can. Let's save the Chelsea game for last. Although we don't really have much people on here, so yeah. Petrikov won, Pafos 4. Wow, Pafos, man, they got a huge win on the road. I mean, this was a demolition, bro. I mean, I did not expect Pafos. Actually, let me double check. Where's Pafos from? Pafos is a Cyprus team. Wow. So, and Petrikov, I don't remember where are they from at the top of my head. Let me see if I can do a Google check. They're from Moldova. Dang, this is a big win on the road. I did not expect this. I didn't have this cards, man. So shout out to Pafos, man, getting a huge 4-1 win on the road. I mean, this is a this is a huge win for them. Like it's a Moldova versus Cyprus, and I would think the two teams are fully around the same, but I mean, after this game, it is clearly not. So yeah, I mean, it's just crazy, man. Pafos, man, they're and as Chris said, they're only 10 years old. It's insane. Yeah, you guys have to probably educate me a lot with these conference league teams because a lot of these teams, I'll be quite frankly honest with you, I don't really know a whole deal of. I tried to educate myself, but it's so hard. It's like there's so many teams, so that's the point, the beauty with the live chat. That's the beauty with the stream is that you guys can um, educate me. That's what I love about the community. And Chris, you're definitely one of the most knowledgeable people I have on the chat. So yeah, and Noah Form 2017, man, crazy, man, crazy. Then we got FC Copenhagen, man. Wow, this is a bit of a shock. I did not see this coming, man. FC Copenhagen lost at home. They're one of the highest ranked teams in this year's conference league. And remember, this was the same team that made the Champions League round of 16. And sure, I know they got obliterated by Manchester City, but guys, it's Manchester City for crying out loud. You can't beat. It's hard to beat Manchester City. So I can't really fault them for that. So I just feel like for Copenhagen, man, it's really disappointing. It's really disappointing because with all due respect, man, excuse me, you shouldn't be losing to Jagiellona at home. And I know Jagiellona, I believe they're the Polish team that won. They won their league, but still, like you can't be losing this game at home, especially from a winning position as well. It's just very disappointing for Copenhagen, and I'm just surprised, man. I'm just really surprised that they lost this game at home because we know how good Copenhagen is, and maybe the loss of Grabera, who was one of the best goalkeepers, he went to obviously Wolfsburg. Maybe that's why they're struggling, but it still doesn't excuse the fact of how it still doesn't it's still bad, man. So Jagiellona, man, fantastic win for them on the road. And yeah, it's very impressive, man. Very, very impressive, man. I have to say this is probably one of the biggest shocks in the conference league so far. Fiorentina 2, TSNS nil. I mean, what is there to say? Fiorentina should be winning this game. Um, and yeah, I think Fiorentina, you expect them to win this game, obviously. Um, and I'm not surprised Fiorentina won this game. I'm a bit concerned on how dominant Fiorentina. I'm a bit surprised at how underwhelming Fiorentina were on the day because, guys, they had 28 shots to take on target and they only scored 2 goals. And I'm sorry, TNC did nothing this game. Like literally nothing in this game. Like, look, it's 2 shots, 1 on target. That's it. Like pathetic, man. And I know to be fair, they are the first team from Wales to ever qualify for the European competition. So maybe I should give them some stick. But still, though, Fiorentina should be winning this game by a bigger margin. And the fact they only scraped with 2 goals and pretty much quick succession is really sad. It's really sad. But yeah. And yeah. We haven't talked about the Chelsea game. I'm going to save that for last. And the LASK 2, George Goodall 2. It was a good game. LASK got an early 2-0 lead. And I think so. Okay, LASK is going to hold on. And George Goodall made it 2-all comeback. And I'm sure my Swedish friends will not be happy with this because obviously they don't like George Goodall. There's one of the rivals for AAK, and Jensen obviously made an error. LASK capitalized upon it in the substitution. Man, Nugon comes off the bench, saves them, and to get a valuable point of the road. And I think this was a fairly entertaining game. You can maybe argue Jurgen were better, but I think they're going to be more than happy to take home a point from a winning position, a losing position. And Jurgen, man, what a goal that was! 65th minute to complete the comeback. And yeah, so very interesting indeed. And then I think we have two more games to discuss. Three more games. Sorry, we have Lugano 3, HJK nil. Yeah, Lugano, man, you absolutely obliterate HJK. HJK were abysmal in this game. And Chris, I think you're right, man. I think I made a mistake with that prediction. I should have not said HJK knockaround playoffs because I'm sorry, HJK look abysmal. HJK look absolutely abysmal. Um, they did not look great, and Lugano, man, looked really good, and they played really well. Lugano did really well for this one, and I have to apologize to any of my Lugano fans, any Switzerland fans watching this because I'm sorry, man. I made a mistake, and I will gladly take my L. But to be fair, it is only one game, so maybe I'm being reactionary here. But I think with this win, they're in a good position. They're going to add. I think they're going to compete. They're going to get at least knock around playoffs. So shout out to Lugano for getting the win, and for HJK, man, absolutely abysmal. I mean, yeah, it's just not what is there to say, and it looks very different. I don't even recognize some of those players in this HJK team. Like this HJK team, I hardly recognize any of those players. Like this HJK team looks so different from the years past, and yeah. The Shamrock Rovers won. Apoel won. Shamrock Rovers, man, scored a last minute goal to save their hopes. Apoel is obviously devastated. And you know what's really commendable? Shamrock Rovers did this down to 10 minutes. Really incredible. It's really incredible. So shout out to Shamrock Rovers for doing this, man. The Irish team, of course. And Apoel, man, it's a bit of a disappointment to obviously blow this lead 1-0 on the road. And yeah, and they're going to be obviously frustrated to do this. And yeah, Applewell, man, they should be kicking themselves, man. Like you can't be conceding at the last minute goal. You just can't be doing this. And so shout out to them, Shamrock Rovers for doing this, man. Irish is really represented well. And then let's go ahead and talk about Chelsea real quick, guys. So Chelsea 4, Ghent 2. Shout out to Chelsea for getting the win there. Ghent, man, very disappointing for them. I mean, to be fair, they're up against Chelsea, so I can't really fault it too much. And obviously, this is a Chelsea, like kind of like a A minus, you can say, like a B plus team whatsoever. Viego looked really good. Dewsbury Hall looked good. Nkunku looked good. Neto. But guys, let's be real, guys. Chelsea should be beating Ghent with all due respect. Now, Ghent did put up a good fight. They weren't just getting blown away. But the truth of the matter is, like, again, we're just outclassed this game. Like, I think Chelsea, they did, again, we're just clinical today. They got their 2 goals. But reality is, Chelsea were the much better team. And Chelsea are looking good, guys. Chelsea are looking great. Viega, Neto, and Kunku, Dewsbury Hall. And let's be real, guys. Chelsea is a clear favorite for this year's Conference League. If Chelsea don't win the Conference League this season, it would be an absolute disappointment. 100%. So it will be interesting to see um, how it pans out. So, yeah, I mean, I want to know what you guys think, guys. So let's quickly recap the conference league since we went through all the games. So around 20 minutes, which is good. So we're kind of good on time there. I would say the biggest winner for the conference league this week. mm, See, Chelsea is like an obvious answer. I'm not going to say Chelsea. I think I'm going to say the Polish team, Jagiellona, for getting a away win against Copenhagen, one of the highest ranked teams in Conference League. For me, that's a statement win on the road. For the biggest loser for me, it got to be Copenhagen. I'm sorry, Copenhagen's the biggest loser. Copenhagen's the biggest loser of this week. So let me read through some of your guys' comments. Where are we? I think I kind of missed some of your guys' comments, so I need to scroll back. Hope Victoria will have a good run in the Conference League. They can't believe St. Gallen were so bad. They eliminated Trabzonspor, and now they do this. Yeah, it's bad, man. Olympia Lubana are a good team. Don't understand. They were amazing in the qualifiers. Fair enough. Heidenheim can go far, but they shouldn't disrespect the competition. I suppose that's fair. Um, yes, by far, Chelsea versus Noble will be the Real Madrid versus Sheriff this year. Yeah, I guess you could say. I suppose you can say that. Um, now Real Betis can still win the competition. Oh yeah. I'm not saying they can't, but I'm just saying that, Chris. I'm just worried already. Like if they're losing to a Polish team on the road, I just don't know. And like I look at last season in particular, like how they underachieved. Obviously, they can do it. I'm not saying they can't do it, but I'm just not confident with that pick. That's what I'm saying. I'm just not confident with them. They can win the remaining 5 games, not too difficult. But then I can. Panathinaikos is looking really bad. Paphos was formed 2010, 2010, 2017. That's a surprise, definitely. Hey, sorry, I hit the like button. Yeah, thank you for hitting the like button, guys. Get the likes up, man. Get the likes up. Let's try to get up to 10 likes for today's stream, man. For this Europa League and Conference League reaction, guys. Got those likes up, man. Got those likes up. Basically, my prediction was right on the Chelsea game. Fair enough. I believe I predicted 3-0. And also, guys, we're going to look at the predictor leagues. Let's see how we're doing those leagues, guys. We're also going to look at that towards the end of the stream. I prefer to go down to AAK from Sweden. Fair enough. Do I want to say to Sebastian? Well, Chris, I think Sebastian can read the chat. So, um, yeah. And I don't think Sebastian's watching anyway. So, you don't have to, I don't think he's here anyway. So, you don't have to worry about that. I'm rooting for Victoria and Chelsea. Fair enough. Apple's disgrace. Something tells me that Chelsea won't win this competition. That's what I'm saying, Chris. Like, that's why I'm not picking Chelsea because it feels too obvious. It feels too obvious because I've noticed in the recent editions, guys, the team that you expect to win it more often than not doesn't win it. More often than not doesn't win it, man. So, um, like that's what I'm saying. Like for Chelsea in particular, like obviously they should win this because I'm sorry, but looking at all these teams, guys, Chelsea should be beating most of these teams. And especially the fact with no Europa League teams dropping down. Oh, Chelsea's now if Europa League teams drop down, that's what I don't like about this new format, guys. Like I wish the Europa League teams drop down because with all due respect, guys, I only see like Fiorentina, Real Betis, and Chelsea really doing it. It's only these three teams that can realistically win it. The rest, it's not realistic. I'm sorry. In Europa League teams, I look at some of those Europa League teams that could like we could have seen maybe drop it down. Like maybe we could have seen um maybe like I don't know, Besiktas, maybe like Frankfurt, maybe like I feel like some of those teams would actually give Chelsea a run for the money. Chelsea's very lucky the format changed, very very lucky. So, like that's what I'm saying, man. That's what's going to be interesting. Um, Fiorentina lost 2 conference finals in a row. If they go all the way to the final this season, losing again will never be repeated. I dare Fiorentina to lose 3 finals in a row. I dare Fiorentina to lose 3 finals in a row. If that happens, I'm sorry. That Fiorentina team has to be dissolved. I know this might seem crazy to say, and I know this seems very reactionary, but I'm sorry. You can't lose 3 finals in a row. You just cannot. I don't care whichever team against. Even if it's against Chelsea, you cannot lose 3 finals in a row. You cannot lose 3 finals in a row. That is unacceptable for Fiorentina, man. And I'm sorry. Last season was bad because with all due respect, it was Olympiacos. You like as an Italian team, you shouldn't be losing to a Greek team. You shouldn't be. I know they were technically the away team, but still, like it doesn't excuse the fact that they were losing. Legia Warsaw could be a dark horse. Oh yeah, I think they can be a dark horse. Remember, they beat Aston Villa last season, in the Conference League opener. Don't forget that, guys. So they can definitely do it, man. It wouldn't surprise me. Pick up AD chat or Panathinaikos, but we're awful. Yeah, I don't see Panathinaikos. It's gonna be difficult. It's time to have a scary combo, but United and I'm sure you're gonna. I'm sure you want to talk about this, Albert. I'm sure you want to discuss about this. We'll talk about that game for last, man, because Matt's going to join us. I don't know. I don't know how long Matt's will be on that channel for, but as soon as he's done with that, he's going to come over here, I believe. So we're going to get to that. So we're going to probably save that for last. Okay, I think it's time we switch gears. But before we switch gears, guys, let's do a little quick poll, guys. Let's do a quick poll. Let's do a quick poll, guys. Poll. Um, so I would want to ask you this question. So, guys, answer this question for me in the chat, guys. Answer this question for me in the chat. So, I want you to answer, guys, to this question. I'll give you guys a few minutes, and we're going to switch gears. We're going to switch gears, guys. We're going to talk about the Europa League now. So, yeah. All right, so Europa League time, guys. Europa League time. So by round. So round two, guys. Round two. So we're gonna start with the first game we got here. Is Ferencvaros 1, Spurs 2. Shout out to Spurs for getting the away win here. I mean, I'm sorry, Ferencvaros is just not the same. I don't know what happened to Ferencvaros. They just don't look like the same team from a few years ago. Like this isn't the team. I don't know what Ferencvaros has just been simply mediocre for the last couple of years now, And for Spurs, man, as I said, they got the away win. They left it a bit too close. They almost allowed Ferencváros to make a comeback. They almost allowed Ferencváros to make a comeback, and which would have been bad if they had made a comeback. Um, so and so yeah, I mean, I think for Ferencváros, as I said, man, I'm just very disappointed with them, and I just don't really much to say about them. Ferencváros were not great this game. And Spurs were just better. Spurs were just better. Um, I will give credit. Ferencváros did a little bit show up the second half. Spurs weren't that great the second half, and obviously Spurs did play kind of an A-minus team, obviously. But yeah, like I said, man, for Spurs, man, they got the win. And you know what's interesting, guys? Four teenagers played this game, I believe. Excuse me, Moore played this game. Lancer played this game, and I believe Bergvall he played this game. Bergvall's really talented, guys. He's really talented. And there's another, I think Gray, another youngster played. So Tottenham, four youngsters played, and yeah. So Vargas scoring that goal there. Then Hoffenheim 2, Dynamo Kiev nil. Yeah, Dynamo Kiev are abysmal. I'm sorry, Dynamo Kiev. They're simply trash. Hoffenheim got the win here at home. What a banger of a goal that was from Pulisic. And for Dynamo Kiev, as I said, man, there's not much to say. They're just not good enough. I'm sorry, they're a mediocre team. I'll be surprised if they can do anything. And yeah, I feel like they're going to struggle. I don't see them doing much in this year's Europa League. They're going to just be there for the vibes. So yeah, I'm sorry, man. Just don't have much faith in Dynamo Kiev. And for Hoffenheim, um, yeah, it's a shame. Bro, chill. Dynamo Kiev have war in their country. I understand that stuff, Chris. But I mean, Ukraine teams in just in general, the last couple of years are just, yeah, it's just sad to see. But yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, Chris. And at least they're in the Europa League and Champions League, respectively. But I still don't think I still don't think they're gonna. I think it's fair to say they're not gonna make the playoffs. But hey, I mean, at least they're in the continental competition. So also finals in Poland. That's true. It's 100% failure. I could get a trophy with all the players they have. Oh yeah, I agree, man. It would be a failure. The only way I won't say it's a failure is if they manage to get top four. If they get top four, then I won't say it's a failure. But if they don't get top four, I mean, let's be real, man. Let's be real. Like Chelsea should win this Conference League. But yeah, anyways. Then we got Lazio for Nice one. Shout out to Lazio for getting the win here at home against Nice. And Nice, man, that's not very nice what Lazio did. It's not very nice what Lazio did. Lazio obliterated Nice. Nice were simply no good. And yeah, I just thought Nice were very underwhelming on the day. And Lazio, man, Castellanos, man, they got the striker replacement. Rodriguez got the goal there. And coming up finish Zach Kingi. So yeah, I think um for Lazio, man, it's a good win. But like I said, because with all due, because the thing with Lazio is that they're really good at home. It's just their away record is a bit sketchy, but at home they're still very good. At home they're very good guys. Like let's not kid ourselves here. Maccabi Tel Aviv nil, Michelin 2. Wow, what a result for Michelin on the road. And Maccabi Tel Aviv, man, very disappointing for them. Obviously, I'm a Maccabi Haifa fan. One of my friends, he actually is a friend of them, so I don't think he likes Tel Aviv, if I remember correctly. So, um, yeah, I feel like for Michelin, man, it's a really good win on the road, man. And for Maccabi Tel Aviv, man, very disappointing for them. You can't be losing at home to a Danish team. That shouldn't be happening. Um, so yeah, well, actually, to be fair, are they playing at home? They're probably not playing at home, but whatever the case is, you shouldn't be losing to Michelin. And Michelin, man, fantastic win for them on the road. So for you, get the goal there, the goal there, Franciscali got the goal, and I don't know how Maccabi Tel Aviv didn't score. Like, look at the amount of shots they had. They couldn't score a single goal. That's crazy. That's really crazy, guys. Really crazy. Really crazy. So yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, yeah. I kind of figured, Chris. I kind of figured they play in Belgrade. I kind of figured, but still, like I said, man, Maccabi Tel Aviv, like they shouldn't. You still like. I still think Maccabi Tel Aviv Like, they should be scoring at least one of those goals. With the amount of chances they have, they should be scoring. Olympiacos 3, Braga nil, guys. This is my dark horse for the Europa League this season. This is my dark horse. This is my dark horse, guys. Olympiacos looked fantastic, and Braga, man, they looked really, really poor. And I was very surprised. Like, I knew Olympiacos would do good in this game, but my goodness me, I didn't think Olympiacos would destroy them. But here's the thing, though. Mathias, man, made a stupid error for one of the goals. I believe he made a stupid error, and I mean the stats wise. I mean, it was a close game, and the stats wise, but Olympiacos was clinical, and Braga weren't. And I think that's the difference in the day. Olympiacos were clinical, Braga weren't, and Braga, Olympiacos took their chances, whereas Braga didn't. And yeah, Braga, man, very disappointing for them. And let's be real, guys. Braga, this is the same team that almost lost at home against Maccabi Tel Aviv. So this is a team that's very concerning, very worrying indeed. And for Olympiacos, man, it's an amazing one for the Al Kabi, man, scoring a brace as they scoring a goal there. And yeah, Braga, man, Olympiacos, man, very good, man. So shout out to them, man. And for quarterback, man, oh my jeez, quarterback, Malmo, man. Gotta give it to them, man. Malmo showed up. The Swedish team showed up, man. Two Swedish teams won today against the odds. We have to give a round of applause to Sweden, man. Round of applause to Sweden, man. Round of applause to all my Swedish followers on my channel. Sebastian, National Team Football, Ball. Shout out to these guys because my goodness me, man. I don't think anybody expected both Swedish teams to win today. If you did, you must have been that would have been you would have got a lot of money if you did that because that's insane. Like nobody expected both Swedish teams to win today. So shout out to Malmo for getting the win on the road for quarterback. Man, I'm just disappointed, man. Quarterback. I don't know what happened to quarterback guys because this quarterback team shouldn't be this bad. Like quarterback shouldn't be this bad, guys. Like this is a team that I know made the Europa League round of 16. Guys, they almost knocked out Leverkusen. They almost knocked out. They almost knocked out Bayer Leverkusen. That same invincible team that went domestically unbeaten. They almost knocked them out. So I don't know what's happened to quarterback. I don't know what's going on. Maybe the players like I don't know what's going on. Maybe Chris can let me know in the chat what's going on because I certainly do not understand how quarterback is this bad. Because I'm sorry, you shouldn't be getting outclassed at home. It's just unacceptable, man. It's just really, really sad to see. And you only have one shot on target. I'm sorry, this is really poor. This is really, really bad, man. I'm very concerned, man. Very concerned for Malmo, man. Both teams scored a brace, and like I said, man, Swedish teams, man, they're on the rise. They're on the rise. Another team that is disappointing. Oh man, Real Sociedad, man. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say with Sociedad. They're just a disgrace. I'm sorry. Sociedad is disgraceful. I'm sorry. As a fellow La Liga fan, I cannot defend Real Sociedad. I'm trying my best, guys, but I don't know what is there to say about Real Sociedad. There is nothing to say about this team because I'm sorry, this team is just disgraceful. I'm sorry, with all due respect, you cannot be losing to a Belgian team at home. And like they're a good team. Obviously, they're a good team, and I'm not saying they aren't, but you shouldn't be losing to them at home, especially especially as the home team, right? So for Real Sociedad, man, I just don't know what to say. I mean, look at their stats, man. Look at the amount of chances they had: 20 shots, but only 4 on target. And for Anderlecht, man, credit to them, man. They were able to fight back this game. Vasquez goal, getting the goal, Leone, and I think you might be onto something, Chris. I think Anderlecht is a really fun team. I think Anderlecht is a team that is going to be a dark horse. I feel so stupid for them to not make it through. And guys, oh my geez, Real Sociedad. Why are they playing a back five? This is shambles, and I don't know what to say with Real Sociedad. I'm just very disappointed, man. I'm very disappointed with Real Sociedad. They're making La Liga look back, and guys, La Liga took a huge L this week. La Liga took a huge L this week because I believe it's only Barcelona and Bilbao that won in Spain. I believe the other La Liga teams lost. Oh my jeez. La Liga, yeah, it's a huge L for La Liga this week. It's a huge L for La Liga this week, and I'm very, very disappointed. And I'm just in tears, man. I don't know what's going on La Liga. La Liga, man. This league is starting to become decline. But anyways, I don't want this La Liga discussion because we have to keep this on analytics. Obviously, Belgian teams did very well this week. The only Belgian team that did bad was Ghent, and it was against Chelsea, so we can't really fault him too much for that. So shout out to Anderlecht for getting the away win here. This is massive, and I think it's fair to say they can make it a dark horse. And for Galatasaray, man, you guys blew it 2-0. You guys blew it 2-0 lead away to RFS. And with all due respect, you cannot be dropping points to RFS. You simply cannot. They're one of the worst teams in the Europa League this season. And I'm sorry, this is disgraceful. You cannot be dropping points to RFS. You just cannot be doing that. And for Galatasaray, man, I feel very stupid for my prediction. I believe I predicted them second in the league. I mean, oh my geez, Galatasaray, you guys are making me look like stupid here because I'm sorry, with that talented team, you got Mertens, you got Icardi there, and don't forget, you also have Osimhen there as well, Victor Osimhen as well, Muslera as well. To be fair, Muslera was suspended, but Osimhen was injured, but still, like RFS, man, shout out to them for getting a point at home. This is a huge point for them, and for Galatasaray, man, I'm just ashamed, man. I'm just ashamed what Galatasaray did, and yeah, so shout out to RFS for making the comeback. And I think you're right, Chris. I sincerely apologize, man. Turkish teams, they might be overrated. Um, yeah, all the Turkish teams did bad this week. So yeah, it's interesting to say there. I'm gonna look through your guys' comments after I finish these talking about these games, and then we'll talk about the Man United Porto game for last time. I'm hoping that Matt's will join. I don't know Matt's when Matt's gonna join. Um, maybe he'll join around 20 minutes. But I guess we'll see what happens. And then for Ajax, man, Ajax, you guys are very lucky to not lose this game because you guys should have lost this game. Ajax should have lost this game. They got the early goal there. Van der Bromen got the early goal, and Ajax were just simply terrible. They were simply terrible throughout the course of the game. They only got that one shot on target. They had some good chances here or there. To be fair, they had some close chances. Um, but in the second half, man, I mean, they were completely outclassed. Look at this: 40 shots, 5 on target, and Ajax went down. And man, I will give credit to Ajax. They were able to hold on for a point, especially as on the road, considering they were down a man. So you have to give them that credit, obviously. But at the same time, though, it's still very disappointing at that regard. It's Slavia Prague and Chori getting that goal there. And guys, Czech teams are underrated. Czech teams are underrated. And I'm so glad I predicted a draw for this game, guys. I am so glad I predicted a draw. I'm so glad I predicted a draw and the gaming predictor that did come clutch for me. And yeah, man, I'm very happy, man. Slavia Prague is a very underrated team, guys. Respect Slavia Prague. And Czech teams are good, man. Czech teams are very respect the Czech teams, man. Respect the Czech teams, man. They're good, man. And so yeah. And then Athletic Club 2, AZ Alkmaar 0. Athletic Club, man, they got the win there. Very disappointed for AZ Alkmaar, man. I mean, not sorry, very disappointed for Athletic Club. They had to score 2 late goals to end. They were the superior team, obviously, to AZ Alkmaar. And you know what's interesting, guys? Athletic Club were not able to beat AZ Alkmaar the last 2 times they played against each other. So Athletic Club finally beat AZ Alkmaar this time with a clean sheet. So 2015. So it's been 9 years since they played, and Athletic Club finally beat them. So shout out to them. Iñaki Williams, Sansa again, the goal there. Nico Williams looking good as well. The brothers linking up. And guys, Athletic Club, man, I hope this team wins the Europa League. I hope this team really does win the Europa League. As a La Liga correspondent, I hope they can do it because I'm sorry, I'm not trusting Sociedad. I'm not trusting Sociedad. This team has a better chance to win the Europa than Sociedad. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Bilbao do here, man. Moving on, we have here is Besiktas 1, Frankfurt 3. I don't know how Besiktas didn't score more goals. Frankfurt, they were good, obviously, in this game, but Besiktas, man, I mean, the amount of chances they had was insane. I don't know how they didn't score more than 1 goal. And that penalty save there was huge. You have to give credit to the goalkeeper. I thought Kau actually had a very good game. Very good game. 21-year-old Brazilian goalkeeper. Brazil, man, maybe you got to look up for a goal. Maybe he could be your goalkeeper, man. I got to ask Silva, man, for this one, man. Maybe he could be the goalkeeper. And for Frankfurt, as I said, man, huge win on the road. They were clinical in this game. They got the 2 goals this first half. They took advantage of that. They got the 2 goals, and Baby got the goal, the set piece, and Marmoush got the goal there. And then the second half, man, they got that great goal there. Uh, and yeah, and for Besiktas, man, they got a long range effort there, but it wasn't really enough, obviously, to make a comeback. I don't know how Besiktas should have won this game, honestly. Like they should have won this game. But it is what it is. Chirin Bobby missing the penalty, not really reliable, of course. And yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how Frankfurt does, guys. And this is huge for Frankfurt. To get a win away in Turkey is really difficult, and we know Turkish teams' atmosphere is generally pretty difficult. So, yeah, shout out to Frankfurt for getting that away win there. And then Augsburg won Roma nil, man. Guys, Elfsborg, man. I don't know how they did this, man. Shout out to Elfsborg because Roma, you cannot be losing this game. You cannot be losing this game. But shout out to Elfsborg for getting that goal there. I know it was from the penalty spot, but it was a stonewall penalty. It was a clear handball. Takes the penalty there. And yeah, Roma for me were really terrible this game, man. Roma were really awful, guys. Really, really abysmal. And that not good enough whatsoever. And sure, the second half, Roma did come alive, but it was kind of too late, and they're basically going everything. Obviously, Elfsborg were pretty much parking the bus at that point. I mean, can you blame them? Of course. And for Roma, as I said, man, disappointing, man, disappointing. And I still don't think, I don't care what anyone says, guys, I still don't think De Rossi should have been sacked. And yeah, for Elfsborg, man, as I said, man, I feel like they're a good team because remember, guys, this is a team that I believe finished second in the league, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they finished second in the league. Let me actually check. Elfsborg. Elfsborg. They finished second in the Swedish league, right? Let me check. Hold up. The standings. Yeah, they finished second in the league. They only lost by goal difference. So they're a good team, guys. And so you have to respect Elfsborg for what they're doing with Sweden. Swedish teams, man, on the rise. And for Roma, man, I'm sorry, this is embarrassing. This is absolutely embarrassing for Roma. I'm sorry. You cannot. You have to take this L, man. It's such a huge L. And for Elfsborg, man, very good win for them. And guys, I saw what Elfsborg did against AZ Alkmaar. They almost got a draw in that game. They almost got a draw. So maybe Elfsborg won't be as bad as people make them out to be. We'll save the Man United game for last because I know you guys have lots to say about that game. FC 20, Fenerbahce, man. I'm sorry. Another disappointing result for Fenerbahce. Guys, I don't think any Turkish team won this week. All the Turkish teams either lost or tied this game. Oh, Mats is here, man. So thank you for joining, Mats. Thank you for joining. Just to give you so Mats, you kind of joined yeah, actually, it was interesting. You kind of joined it. We're about to talk Porto, but I wanted to save that game for last. So let me quickly
okay.
The game. So let me see how many games we go.
To be fair, all the only other stuff I really saw like the last 5 minutes plus added time of the Spurs game, and I saw bits and pieces of the Chelsea game. So
yeah,
I don't have much to say. I don't really have anything too much to say on the others.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get to the Porto Man United in a bit. But let me just talk about this game. Porto 20-1, Fenerbahce 1. Fenerbahce, man. Guys, I might have to induct the Turkish league as a whole. I'm seriously considering doing that because none of the Turkish teams won today. Like it's crazy. I'm sorry. Like it's really, really crazy. And Fenerbahce, man, Jose Mourinho, man, you just got lucked out there. And shout out to 20. I think 20 are very underrated. Like this is amazing for them. We saw what they did against Manchester United. Sure, they kind of got lucky there to get a draw. Getting a draw away at Old Trafford is still an incredible result. They outclassed Fenerbahce. They should have won this game, to be honest with you. 15 shots, 9 on target. I mean, 20, man. I think they're a dark horse. I think I'm here to say, guys, 20 is a dark horse. And they're showing the Netherlands well because, PSV were kind of underwhelming. Feyenoord, I wasn't really too convinced with. I think 20 might be Netherlands' best hopes. And, guys, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what to make of Ajax. I don't really know what to make of Ajax. I don't think Ajax will do that well. So I think 20 for me can do it, man. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens for 20. And for Tadic, man, getting that goal there in the 71st minute was a huge goal for them. Fenerbahce scraped through. And yeah, man, Jose Mourinho, man, very disappointing for them. We're Fenerbahce in the league table, man. They're third. Oh, I forgot to look at the league table for the Conference League. Okay, we'll look at the league table, I suppose, after we look at the Europa League. But yeah, shout out to Fenerbahce for getting that draw there. The PAOK 0, FCSB 1. PAOK, man, this is so disappointing for PAOK. I'm disappointed with PAOK, man, because PAOK, you can't be losing this game at home to FCSB. I'm sorry, with all due respect, with the amount of chances they have. Like, look, there's 28 shots, 6 on target. I mean, and FCSB, the fact that they managed to win this game down a man, even scored a goal as well. It's just shameful, man. On PAOK, I'm just ashamed. And I believe this is the same team that won the Greek League last season, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I mean, it's just disgraceful, man.
And didn't they get to the semi-finals of the Conference League too?
No, that was Olympiacos. I did.
No, I'm thinking against Fiorentina.
Oh no! I think Fiorentina played against Club Brugge. No, I think they played in the quarterfinals. I think Prague played in the quarterfinals. Wait,
Okay.
so I don't know. I'll have to double check, but it's been a while. But yeah, anyways,
I
Prague.
know they
They're
were
very
on the other side of the bracket to Olympiacos.
yeah. No, oh no, sorry. I think Prague played against Bruges. Yeah, they played against Club Brugge in the quarterfinals. Okay, yeah, okay. So had Prague beaten Club Brugge, they could have made the semifinals. Okay, yeah, okay. I remember now. But yeah, I mean, very disappointing for Prague. So yeah, very disappointing for Prague. And Rangers won, Leon 4, man. Scottish teams, I'm sorry, man. I was being I was giving you guys a lot of praise Rangers yesterday in the stream, but maybe I shouldn't have been that praised because I'm sorry, Rangers, this is disgraceful. This was absolutely disgraceful to lose 4-1 at home to Leon. I know Leon's a good team and all, but the defending I saw Rangers did on the day was absolutely shambolic. It was shambles defending. I mean, it was ridiculous, bro. Rangers, man. And Matt's, yeah, maybe we need to do a petition. Maybe we need to remove Scotch teams from Europe. I'm seriously starting to consider
Y-
the Scotch teams was bad.
Yeah. Though I didn't see the game, I was seeing like notifications on the TV screen popping up for the Rangers game, and it certainly implied that Lacazette looked looked like his Premier League version.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Leon isn't this good of a team, guys. Like I know people say, oh, they're a French team and all. Guys, Leon just lost at home to Marseille a few weeks ago. Down a man. I'm sorry, up a man as well. So this isn't a good this team isn't that good. Now I'm not saying they're a bad team. Obviously, they're not that bad. Obviously, they're obviously a good team, but they're not as good as 4-1. Like, sorry, Rangers shouldn't be losing this game 4-1. You can't be losing at home 4-1. And I'm sorry, they were just defensively trash, really, really bad. And for Leon, as I said, man, huge win on the road. I still don't trust Leon. I still don't think Leon are that good. I just think Rangers just were terrible and they just exposed them. So yeah, shout out to Leon, man. Fafana,
Will
Royce.
will Celtic and Rangers do worse than the New Saints?
And the luck is that, man. And I'm sorry, this guy in particular, man, Baron, that DM. Oh my, jeez, he had a garbage game. Oh my god, one of the goals was really bad, really, really bad. But yeah, anyways. So shout out to Leon, man, for getting that win there. Union SG nil, Bodo Glim nil. This was a very close game. I think this is a draw is maybe just about fair. Although you can maybe say Union SG was slightly better, given the amount of shots they had, but they didn't really create much on target. And for Bodo Glim, man, I think it's a great draw for them on the road. And guys, I think Bodo Glim, I also disrespected a lot of my predictions. I think I disrespected a lot, and I might have to owe some apologies um for that. And yeah, so shout out to Bodo Glen for getting a away draw here. And yeah, for UNSG, man, it's kind of disappointing, man, for this one. Um, and yeah. Then last one I got here is Victoria Pleasant nil, Ludogorets nil. Am I surprised? Not really. Victoria Pleasant is just a defensive team. They're just a defensive team. They don't score enough goals. They miss so many chances. And Ludogorets, man, you guys have got lucky to get a draw for this game because Victoria Pleasant should have just won this game with the
It's
amount of
not a
chance they
bad result given that Ludogorets lost at home in their own last time.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying it's a bad result for Victoria Pleasant. I'm saying it's a bad result for them.
That is true.
Yeah. So let me go through some comments, and then we'll speak about everyone's favorite club in Manchester.
Oh dear, oh dear.
All right, because there's a lot to say about that game. We're getting close to the hour mark, man. We're getting close to the hour mark. So, you know what? I think I'll have a timestamp just for the Man United Porto game because there's just so much to say about that game in particular. Do you agree, Matt?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just quickly read through the comments. Oh, by the way, Matt, we already went through the Conference League, so
Yeah,
just let me give you.
I think you said beforehand.
Okay. Let's see. I think Braga was bad. I don't know why Braga hired Carvalho as their coach. Boy says yes. Book says sub. Fun fact: Swedish team got at least a draw in the Europa League after 2020. Wow.
You know what Braga did after a few games? They actually sacked their manager quite harshly, and as things are showing, they haven't really recovered from it because they did lose at home to Victoria Guimarães. Um, So it's not looking the greatest for Braga.
Yeah. Yes. Another fun fact: all three teams called Real lost this week. Oh yeah, that's true. That's actually shameful. I'm sorry, Matt. My big takeaway is that Spain got a huge L this week. Only Barca Bilbao won. I believe also which the other teams took a huge L. Um, Turkish teams. Um Austria as well had a bad week. I think that's really it. That's top my so Spain, Turkey, Austria.
What about
Unless you have any others.
Switzerland?
Oh yeah, Switzerland as well. You can maybe say. Yeah, Brazil.
Turkey.
Yeah, I said Turkey. I told you not to
Okay.
overrate Turkish. Belgian league on the rise while the Turkish league is declining. Where's RFS from? Latvia. That's what
They're from Latvia,
Mourinho. Okay,
from
thanks,
Riga,
Chris.
in fact, which I was at in the summer.
Oh, it's good that Sammy Kiotis is not here because he would not like to hear this comment. Well, the only reason why the Turkish league is relevant. Oh man. I mean, to be fair, see, the thing is, I want to disagree, but Pookie might be onto something. So, yeah, it's still they also have OC.
I mean, he's not helped Turkey he's not helped Fenerbahce as much as the general expectation was.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. Those two are irrelevant. He makes many mistakes. Wait, they have Fred as well. Who makes many mistakes? Oh, I think it's about the goalkeeper I was talking about for Brazil. I think the Frankfurt keeper. That Frankfurt keeper looked really good today. I got to give him props. 10 saves. That's really impressive. George Club still have United's number UCL Conference. Roma. Ready to go. So sad for Elfsborg. They got such a difficult draw. Roma. H is such a jinx, man. XD. HH, right? You know what HH Twit's the thing? It's Joe over. I should have known, man. I should have known. That's why I didn't tweet too much on the time. That's why I didn't tweet too much because I knew my jinx would come through. So it's the Wule Watts. Man, so I thought Porto would beat United. We'll get to that, man. We'll get to that. When's the last time Turkish League was getting big W's? When Drogba was at Galatasaray? Probably, I guess. And when Van Persie, I think, was at Fenerbahce. That's probably when the last time when Turkish League was relevant at Europe.
Maybe.
I also underrated 20. Yeah, 20 is underrated. Albert, you might have to remove Costa from your list to keep yourself better than Every Martinez. Yeah, Matt, we're going to have to talk about Costa because he had let's just say, not the best performance.
Yeah, that was to Albert, though, not to me.
Yeah, well, United rigged the game, so it doesn't count. Costa's still top. Lost their chance in the first half, but then they got tired. But also, I don't count performances after pickup games. He's right here noted. Leon ain't a good team low, so 4-1's bad. Hell, Ace room again. Before gives the game. Leon is a serious club. Leon are washed. Both are going to win this thing. Leon has been relevant since they beat Man City UCL. I mean, that's probably true. I abolished them. Victoria Pleasure won. Last time they were a top team was the early 2010s. Both Glenn likes comes up. So screw Man United. That's sorry. They had him in top teams since they had junior. 10x got to go when they had Benzema too. Are you Ancelotti out? I just run Braga game. My own best score that the Braga could say. Not yet, but I'm getting there. A very pleasant result for Pleasant. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one, Albert. That's a good one. You know what? I need to start this comment. Respect him.
Although, wouldn't you argue that it's an unpleasant result for them?
Yeah, I would say it's more unpleasant. I'm getting about what I said about Mourinho though. He's done a great job on second spell despite everything. Yeah, I know. I was kidding about what I said about Mourinho though. Watch him win the back-to-back Champions League against. I hope. Angie a lot. All right, Matt. Before we get to the Porto Man United game, do you want to quickly touch about the other Europa League games, or just straight into the Man United game?
Well, you mentioned Frankfurt goalkeeper. Was Kevin Trapp playing or?
No, it wasn't Kevin Trapp.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Tottenham probably deserved the win as well. I don't think I've got anything else to say.
All right, now let's talk about Porto United, man. I'm going to keep this as the own timestamp. Porto versus Manchester United. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'll let you go first, Matt, since you're a Porto fan. That'll be nice.
Oh, I don't feel good about this result. I mean, it didn't get off to a good start. Jean Mario had very bad first half. Rashford was playing like Neymar against him, um, especially with that first goal. Diego Costa beaten at his near post, and then the second goal was a counter attack exposed. João Mario was out of position, and again Diego Costa was beaten at his near post, without properly saving the shot, regardless of if I'm not sure who it was that cleared off the line, but regardless if he managed to do it before the ball crossed the line or not, it was bad goalkeeping. But but afterwards, it did see a good response. Porto were trying various ways of attacking, balls in the box, dribbling into the box. So something was brewing, and then eventually Pepe scored from a rebound, which was good to see, and Samu as well, the striker. For both of his goals, he didn't just have a good finish, but for both of his goals, he was able to direct his headers, or his header and his tap in beyond Onana's reach. So it was some great poaching from him. And then afterwards, whilst I don't expect Porto to chase the game or anything like that, there was a lack of attempts on target. Whenever the ball was brought forward, it didn't result in chances for the most part. Victor Bruno subbed off Pepe, who was one of the best players, for Martin Fernandes, a fullback. So at that moment, Porto went to a back three, back five until Jean Mario got subbed out. Then it went back to a back four. Man United had a few chances, including Costa making that very good save on Garnacho. He had a better second half. He made some good catches before that save on Garnacho. And then there was that one moment. I couldn't see it clearly because I was a bit I was a bit far from the screen. Well, I had a fair distance from between me and the screen, and there was a lot going on around me. So I didn't clearly get to see who the two players were. I believe it was Dennis Gould, the sub striker, and Galeno involved. They had a 2-on-1. Gould had the ball, and I wasn't that sober at the time. I could see that if he squares it to Galeno, he has a tap it in unless the pass is too strong. But he has an attempt on goal, and Arna saves it from a fairly easy angle. So there was a chance wasted. Man United did give it a go before their equaliser. I was a bit surprised that they subbed on two centre backs. I mean, not so much with Maguire because there was like an advantage of his height and physicality.
Yeah.
Over Lisandro Martinez. But then when the owner comes around, first of all, Maguire's not being marked for most of that corner, and then secondly, Grujic, of course, I think it was Grujic that got closest to him. He got there too late, and thirdly, if of course Maguire is we know Maguire is good at attacking set pieces. So if you can't outjump him, you've got to make it difficult for him. Maybe that's jumping in his way, limiting his vision, stopping him from making movements, standing in his way, in order so he can't get to the cross or can't get it cleanly. But they scored pretty much the same way as Wycombe Wanderers did against Bristol Rovers of the weekend. Poor marking, easy header.
Yeah, and that must make you all frustrated. Like, yeah. So, I mean, I gotta say, man, from a neutral point of view, okay, let me give you. Wait, are you done with your thoughts?
Yes.
Okay, I gotta say, from a neutral point of view, this was an amazing game. This was, this might seem crazy to say, but this was the best game in Europe this week.
I think it was really good until some point after 3-2. Can't fully identify when, but a big part of that game was really good to watch.
Yeah, this one for me was a big, and maybe I'll rewatch this game sometime in the future. Who knows? But yeah, anyways, this was a crazy game. Because it's crazy. I don't know if you mentioned this, Matt. Porto almost scored right in the first second, 20 seconds of the game. I was like, oh my geez, Porto like could have been 1-0
Oh
up.
yeah,
Huge block. It was a huge block. I think it was Miles Rory, if I'm not mistaken. He made a huge block. And then obviously the first goal comes from a terrible. I'm sorry, that's a bad mistake from Costa. I don't know if it's counted as a mistake or not, but I think it's bad goalkeeping there. Rashford gets in behind and kind of like scuffs the shot. It gets 1-0. I was like, come on, bro. That's a cheap goal to concede. That's a cheap goal to concede. I'm sorry. You cannot be conceding that goal. And then the second goal was scored by Hoyland. Great goal there. I think it was Ericsson that got the assist, if I'm not mistaken. He got 2 assists on the day, which was
I
insane.
think
And
so.
I'll be honest with you, before this game, I was looking at that midfield. I was like, Ericsson, Casemiro, that's such a slow midfield. Slow midfield, but I was very wrong. It was not slow whatsoever. They don't have a lot of pace, both those players right now. And and I was thinking to myself, okay, United are 2-0 up. But then I had a feeling that Porto were gonna make a comeback. I just knew that United were gonna hold on to this 2-0 lead. Like they scored too early of goals. And the Porto got one back. Great header there. Sorry, it was a goal there from Pepe. Great equalizer there. The header from Omar Dian, man. And I gotta say, man, Dalot was really bad. I thought he was one of the worst United players. He was getting beaten too much with crosses. And DeLid was awful for the second goal. He was really bad for the second goal in particular. Um, and yeah, I mean, it was crazy, man. 2-2 at halftime. Then the second half comes around. Then Porto score, make it 3-2, and you're thinking, so okay, now it should be over then, right? But I just feel like I don't know, man. I just feel like Porto just kind of I don't know. I mean, I think you were kind of saying about this. Porto they just didn't look good after they scored the third goal, you know. And United kind of grew into the game. Did Bruno Fernandes get a red card? Do you think that was a fair red, by the way?
Well, we got to put it into context that he'd already been booked, so
Yeah.
certainly wouldn't have. Certainly wasn't a straight red, which wasn't given. I was on another channel I was on a United fans channel who was saying that Bruno Fernandes didn't touch him, which I haven't seen it too clearly, but Fernandes was going for the shot, but the fact that he didn't get it meant it was a very risky high boot. From what I could see, it did look like a fair booking, but if it was wrong, then surely it wasn't clear and obvious enough to not review it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Rashford actually got the assist for the Hoyland goal, by the way. Sorry, my bad there. Um, yeah, and João Mario, I thought was great. Like even though as bad as he was defensively, and Rashford did cook him, he was good offensively. You have to give him that.
Yeah,
Uh,
he was good on the attacks.
Yeah, and then
He's
I
certainly a
also want to mention.
better attacking fullback than he is defensively, and in the second half, he wasn't so bad.
Yeah, and also I want to mention, man, why did Ericsson Hawk took Rashford off at halftime? That was something that came out of nowhere. And unless Rashford's
Um,
injured, that would make sense. But if he wasn't injured, that would be such a stupid. Like that was so stupid. It must be injury related.
well, at the time when he got subbed off, at the time I was thinking this is harsh,
That must be.
but given how João Mario has played and Garnacho has been decent this season, he can certainly cause João Mario problems. But he didn't quite replicate what Rashford did in the first half. Um, and
No, yeah.
and Ten Hag, and I was told that on the last stream I was on that Ten Hag actually did speak out when asked about the Rashford substitution, and he said that Rashford's okay. We're just resting in him ahead of the next game.
No, but my thing is that you can't take Rashford off
I mean,
unless he got injured.
the part with what Ten Hag is saying is that's the part where I'm not agreeing with the substitution.
Oh, you're just trying to justify it. But what I'm saying is that I'm
No,
just saying.
the only thing I can justify is what Garnacho could do to João Mario. But other than that, I don't think it was
Nah,
the right substitution to do that early on.
it's such a brain dead decision. Like unless he was injured. Now, if he was injured, then fair enough. Then I can't fault you. Obviously,
Ten Hag said he was
absolutely.
okay, so
No, he wasn't injured. So I'm sorry. This is a tactical brick from you, man. And I'm sorry. Like Rashford came off, and Garnacho he just didn't offer the same pace as Rashford. And the thing is, I don't really rate Rashford that highly, and I still don't think he's that good of a player. But he has this like purple patches. He's this moments player, and he has
he
so
was
much more
having a
pace
good
than
game.
Garnacho.
He was playing like Neymar.
Yeah, like he was amazing. Like he was amazing. Like in that first half, and honestly, if he stayed on, United may have won this game potentially. May have won. Or
Maybe.
it could have been a different game. So, and I just thought it was really stupid from Ten Hag to do that. Diallo got the start. Diallo looked good as well. I really rate Diallo, and I'm sorry, Anthony's just useless. I'm sorry, Anthony's useless. I don't know why he's coming on. Xerxes, he's decent. He had good link up play. Maguire came on. Evans came on, and yeah, I just think for Manchester United, man, the biggest issue with them is the defending, man. The defending was shambolic. The way they were defending was really bad. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Delit and Losandro had a terrible game. Both of them had the only fullback that I actually think was decent was Masroy. Everyone else in the back line was awful. Even Onana I didn't think was that great. Now he wasn't the worst player, obviously. I do think that the other defenders are the left back, but I don't think Onana was that amazing. He was underwhelming. Both keepers had some
Which
bad
makes
moments.
me think what could have happened in Porto had tested Onana more in the second half.
Yeah, I don't know why like Porto what was that? Why did Porto because it felt like for me Porto were satisfied. Okay, we made it 3-2. Let's just hold on and see out the result. Like I don't know why Porto was like that.
It seemed like they were waiting on counter-attacks, but then the counter-attacks that they did get when they were near the box, they didn't play the right passes, which would have set them up for easier chances. I got a drink to
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure, Matt. So you must have, yeah, like I'm sure. And then obviously Porto. Then obviously the red card happened. Um, and yeah, I just think that for Porto, as I said, man, it's very disappointing you guys tied this game because this is a game you guys probably should have won. But at the same time, I also thought United also played well in this game too. So yeah, I think a draw. I guess a draw is a fair result. I guess if I'm keeping it real, I suppose. Um, but yeah, I mean, I still
It's not
so
just
before
conceding an equaliser in added time; it's the fact that Man United were down to 10 men.
that sounds
That's the other
frustrating.
frustrating part about it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So, so I mean, Manchester United, man, as I said, man, I still don't think Ten Hag is the coach for them. You could clearly tell he's lost the dressing room. And I know people are saying that, oh, maybe Maguire just saved Ten Hag's job and everything. I still don't think Ten Hag is good. I will be surprised if he stays the entire season. because our next game is Aston Villa, and they just beat Bayern Munich. If Man United somehow beat Aston Villa, that would be crazy, and at Villa Park as well. So, yeah, I mean, what? So for Manchester United, man, I think because you know what the weird thing is, normally they look so bad offensively, like defensively they don't look too bad, but this was kind of the other way around this game. Like they look so good attacking wise and defensively terrible. This is almost like the game they had against like Copenhagen last season, Champions League. They gave up a 2-0 lead in that game. And you know what's crazy, guys? You know, I've only won one game out of 10 European games in the last 10 games in Europe. That's really bad. That win came against obviously Copenhagen. So yeah, I mean, what do you think? So let's talk about let's talk about the player, the man of the matches for both teams. Who is the best player?
Should I say something on Ten Hag?
Oh yeah, sure.
I think his fate is resting on that Aston Villa game. However, within the second half of the last stream I was on, and I think it ended sometime before this hour. There was reports on the away dressing room is still closed, that the players haven't come out, which has sparked a possible theory that this can mean Ten Hag has been sacked. I don't know, but the fact that the dressing room has been closed for longer than expected does imply that there's going to be a lack of talking to the press from Man United's point of view.
And I think H has said it on the stream, and I fully agree with him on this. And I think most people should agree with this. When you lose the dressing room, there's no way you can get it back. When you lose the dressing room, it's done. When you lose the dressing room, you know your time as the manager is done. It's very hard to get it back. Do you agree with him, Matt? Because that's what H said in his like channel.
I mean, there can be exceptions. I do think there is I think there's a chance of winning the dressing room back, but it's very difficult to do.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Most of the time, when a manager's lost the dressing room, most of the time, he's getting sacked. Most of the time.
Yes.
And, so let's talk about Porto real quick. Let's talk about the best player and the worst player and everything like that. So Porto, obviously, I think the best player, it goes without saying, is Omar Dean. He was probably the best player in the day. Worst player. That's really difficult.
Mario potentially, although he did have a good.
Costa?
Costa had a good second half.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe one of the centre backs. Zapedro was on the right side, and my guy Rui from the Porto podcast in English, he even pointed out that that we were missing Otavio's impact at centre back. He partnered Pepe last season in the second half of last season. He certainly improved Porto defensively, and yet he's on the bench. He's been on it, and we could have done with having him back after that Bodo Glimt game, but so
yeah,
I suppose it has to be either Jean Mario or Zapedro.
Yeah, Soccer also was really good. I would say probably maybe him third. I thought he was probably the third best player. I think Pepe was probably second best. I'd probably say Soccer. And the Man United, their best player. I mean,
yeah, I think I'll say Zapedro is the worst.
Okay. Worst, I guess I'll say for Porto. I guess I'll say Costa. I guess I'll say it's tough though. It's tough, but I guess I'll say Costa. But I don't know, man. It's really tough. For Man United, their best player, I think, is it Rashford? I guess it's Rashford, right? Or Aaron, actually, Actually, no, I'll say
Ericsson
Ericsson.
got
I'll say
got two
Ericsson. Yeah,
assists, so
yeah, he got the assist
there's
before.
a case for him.
Yeah, I'll say Ericsson actually. Worst player. I'm. Is it Bruno?
Uh,
Although it's,
to be fair, I don't remember him doing much as an attacking midfielder.
yeah, or maybe.
So, like in my head, I was thinking one of the centre backs, but then when you mention Bruno Fernandes, I thought, well, that's a good. It could be him.
Yeah, and speaking of Bruno, man, is he the worst captain right now of all the big teams in Europe? You can make arguments. You can make
Um,
arguments.
in the I'm guessing you're not including like lower leagues.
No,
Um,
obviously not. Like I'm in like top teams of the respective leagues. Like, is he the worst captain? Because I'm sorry, like this guy's too emotional. He's too emotional.
um, I didn't see him get that emotional this time, but he's had a history of it.
Yeah,
Certainly, other names aren't coming to mind. I think Pulisic is a better captain than Bruno Fernandes for sure. And I know he's not club captain, but he's a national team captain.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. And you know what's really interesting? Bruno's got back-to-back red cards in two games in that game.
yes,
And before these two games, he had only got two red cards in his entire history, I believe I heard. So, like, this is really bad.
equalizer.
Yeah, yeah. For
Um,
so
but Bruno Fernandes potentially the worst captain of the top clubs. He's certainly the captain where you would say that he needs to be replaced.
yeah, because as a captain of the team, you should be like a role model. You should be players to look up to. When your captain's getting red cards and back-to-back games, that's concerning. I know people are gonna bring up Ramos. I know people are gonna bring up Ramos whatsoever. But guys,
Yeah,
Ramos is not
yeah,
complaining.
he's got the record, but to be fair, he hasn't been that active lately.
Yeah. So my point with Bruno is
And
that
plus,
I'm
he's
sorry.
got he's still a great leader,
Yeah, 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 obviously.
and the red cards are usually more of a playing issue rather than his mentality.
Yeah, I mean, the thing for Bruno, as I said, is that he's just not had a good season this season so far, and he might be one of the worst. I don't know if he is the worst. I'll have to look into that, but he might be. You know, and I'm sorry, Bruno Fernandes is not world class. He's not world class.
No,
So, yeah, worst player for Man United. Let's get back to that. I'm maybe download maybe or the center back. I'm not sure. It's got to be someone on the back line probably.
I'm looking at one of the centre backs.
Delete Lissandro, or is it both? Because I feel like they're both kind of the same.
He, I'm going back and forth on them.
Yeah. Mm,
And I was on another channel for the preview, and and one of the commenters had asked what would be the best matchups, and the third one I mentioned was Man United centre backs versus Samu Amara because so far the centre backs had been having an up and down season, and Samu
yeah.
Omorodoyan had scored in every appearance so far this season. So it would be a test on both sides on what's going to happen, and Samu has ended up getting 2 goals.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm gonna say Lissandro. I'll say Lissandro just about. But man, it's really a tie between Delid and Lissandro, and then Dalot maybe as well. Maybe it's a three-way tie for me.
Certainly,
So
the pace was a problem for when conceding the goals. Like Pepe was faster than Lisandro, and again, Martinez was too slow to react in intercepting the assist for the third Porto goal. So that was one of the big problems for both of the centre backs.
okay, let's go through the comments. So yeah, I mean, actually, before we get to the comments, what do you think is Manchester United's biggest problem this season? Do you think it's like the
Um,
defense? Do you think it's players, or do you think it's manager? Do you think it's everything? Like, I don't know. It's hard to read of this. It's
I
hard to get read of this United team.
I suppose I would say tactics and organisation.
Yeah, that's probably a fair way to put it. They're just not tactically well organized. Like, I just feel like you know what's I think really been the problem for Man United this season is the midfield. The midfield has been so inconsistent. The midfield's been so underwhelming. They just don't have control in their team. The midfield's not been able to control the games whatsoever in these. That's actually I think it matters. I think I just figured out the big issue. It's the midfield. And the midfield is
Yeah.
so out of place this season. Yeah, and also
Um,
remember they did miss. Kobe Minor wasn't playing this game because he was injured. Maybe he could have added a huge what is it called? Defensive solidarity, defensiveness. Don't
oops.
worry.
Yeah, possibly. Also on Bruno, I think one of the as well as Man United lacking in leaders, I think one of the reasons he's captain is because partly because of the passion he's got, so that shows he cares. But clearly, he's not being managed well enough to know when to go crazy with his complaining.
Yeah, that's true, man. Bruno is definitely emotional. Captain. Bruno is definitely emotional. That's facts. Adapt as always. I think he should go below that. Adapt. He did what Valverde. Zidane couldn't do, interesting Valverde, Vinny regularly. Wow. How are you conceding Maguire? Yeah, that's actually actually, Matt, that's must have been weird for you. Like, were you like,
Didn't I technically answer this already? It's because
nah,
well,
hide it, man?
he's good at attacking set pieces, and also he wasn't marked properly. And then he wasn't disrupted when the ball was getting close to him.
Yeah,
Simple as.
yeah, Matt. It's very weird for you because your two English players scored against your club. So Rashford and Maguire. So were you like obviously I know you were mad.
Rashford hasn't played for England since March, so but the Maguire one, yeah, that was the first time I'd felt unhappy about Harry Maguire goal.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. We all knew I was going to vote this. It
And
was so obvious. It was so
I
obvious.
I certainly when Saka and Rice stepped up on the penalty shootout against Porto, whilst I wasn't rooting for them. My want for them to miss was not at the same compared to Odegaard and especially Havertz.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, Matt, I want to ask you this question: were you surprised that Porto will able to come back, or you're not surprised? You expected it?
I I think at least coming back to the draw, like to 2-2, I wasn't surprised it would happen, given that they've got the players to have a go at it, and Man United have been poor enough where if they let it slip, it wouldn't have been surprising.
Yeah,
And when it got to 2-2, it told you that the game was there for the taking.
yeah. Fair enough, man. Maguire ain't that bad, like man. Yeah, Maguire wasn't that. Maguire, I think, isn't as bad as people make him out to be. It's in hug out. He's awful. So I'm convinced
Maybe
by Rashford. How long has he been United?
like Martinez and De Ligt are decent defenders. Maybe Man United could go to back three and have Maguire alongside them.
Yeah. I'm still convinced Rashford. How long he's been United now? I'm sorry to say this, guys. He shouldn't be at
He's
United
been at
anymore.
United all of his career, and
Yeah, he's
this has
way too
been
inconsistent.
this possibly has been Rashford's best performance since England vs Italy, and that was the game 12 months ago that got England qualification to the Euros.
I'm sorry. He's still not good enough for Manchester United standards. For the caliber of Manchester United, he's not good enough. And let's be real, guys. If he was an academy player, he probably would have been sold by now. He probably would have been.
Yeah, just like Martinelli at Arsenal.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, man. Rashford, man. I knew he had a good game this game. I don't think Rashford is going to be consistent. He's gonna have a good little spell, and then he'll go back to being crap as usual. So he just has a little
He
period.
might get better if Ruud van Nistelrooy becomes interim manager.
I don't know, Matt. I don't really feel there's any saving him.
And Southgate's not the manager, by the way. Hey, this isn't relevant to the discussion.
Imagine United get Southgate as a coach.
Wait, he's got a job within UEFA anyway.
Oh man, dude, that'd be crazy, man. United would be down bad.
The Southgate links on Instagrams is just for just so
PR.
these accounts can get extra engagement.
Yeah, it's PR, obviously. Not like one time Tari. Roy Keane should get back. Should be back in Man United some capacity. Yeah, yeah. Maybe Roy Keane should be manager for this team. That way, this team has character.
He had been assistant manager for. I mean, after sometime after he'd stopped managing, he was an assistant manager with Martin O'Neill at both Aston Villa and Republic of Ireland.
Yeah, but Pooh says he actually plays well most of the time nowadays. Yeah, I think Maguire's good as a squad player. He's not good as a starter, but he's decent as a squad player. I don't think there's anything wrong with having him as a squad player. There's no reason. That's the reason why he doesn't start for Man United anymore. Rashford thinks the 86 rate.
Maguire was linked to Man City, and the only reason he didn't go to Man City was because they weren't willing to pay the 80 to 90 million price fee. But
Man City's probably loving it. Say, yeah, you know what? It's a good thing we didn't sign him.
Well, if Maguire was at Man City, then the standards would be in a better place and he'd be pushed more. So if he got in the team, then we wouldn't be seeing the Maguire we see at United.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe because to be fair, United tax is really big. To be fair, United does ruin a lot of players. So who knows?
Maguire's usually good at England, and I think at worst Maguire could be Ake level.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, Matt, there's a Man United tax. A lot of players that play, a lot of players when they go to Man United, they just don't do well. It's a simple facts. Because Ten Hag sucks. Yeah, Ten Hag
it is.
He has to go. And I'm sorry, but because let's be real, guys. That FA Cup they won last season, they basically prolonged. Like he would have been sacked otherwise. Pep Guardiola, man, you sneaky guy.
I don't know if it's slang I don't know if it's British slang or it's known across the world, but hag is actually a derogatory term for an older woman.
Wow. But yeah, Pep Guardiola, man. Maybe he intentionally. Okay, I don't want to say intentionally, but let's just say Man City. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'll let you guys draw the conclusions. I'm not gonna say.
Guardiola can get something out of this Man United team. He's the best manager in the world, if not of all time.
No, Matt. So that's not what I was trying to say. Okay, I'll tell you after stream. What I mean.
He definitely do a lot better than other managers would.
Well, and I wasn't talking about that point. I was talking about something else. I'll tell you off stream. Gus sucks, but Pookie's right too because he's been a flop. I'm not wrong about what said Maguire's true. He was awful for spreading the season though. Maguire should leave United. He wasn't bad for Leicester. So I got lucky. I did say most of the time. Anyways, Maguire clutched up. Wait, that was the last time we in the Premier League started. That's why clutch goal. Leicester after Maguire looked much better. He was injured. It's a clutch goal. What do you mean? Clutch goal by 7 times. It did it. It might. I'm sure Maguire won player of the season like 2 times low. I didn't see how. He also got relegated 4 times to 3 different clubs.
So did Aaron Ramsdale.
Yeah, respect Ramsdale, man.
Respect Ramsdale. I don't have a reason to give him much respect.
Respect. I'm kind of joking around.
What you know? What? Why don't we just respect respect Maxwell?
Yeah, respect Maxwell, man. Respect Maxwell. United's bench looked pretty bad except for Garnacho and Maguire. Yeah, the bench looks pretty mediocre, man. Like, I'm sorry, Anthony.
If we're gonna respect Ramsdale, then let's respect Eric Garcia.
I prefer to speak. My speak will be trouble. Anyways, yeah, the Man United bench looks pretty mediocre. Also, why did Ugarte not come on? Why did Ugarte not play at all this game? Like, Ugarte should came on. He would have been able to.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know if I would. I'm not saying this as an advocate for Ten Hag, but maybe he feels he wanted to rest him, like he did with Rashford.
Wow, Ten Hag. No. As long as the dressing room, absolutely. Look at the teams he played for. Leicester before Leicester, after Leicester. Rashford's such a right player. He's a defender. Leicester did better after he left. He played for Hull City, bro. Be for real. So that's just Rashford doing well, man. No defender would have carried them all on their own. Oh, that was good. Come on, man. I mean, I'm not saying it was bad, but he also wasn't. I thought both keepers were not as good as we had hoped they would be. You know, both keepers had good moments, and both keepers didn't have good moments. Is that fair to say?
I mean, Onana didn't have any mistakes critically bad as Costa did, but I do. Yeah, but I also think Costa had a better game overall. I mean, Onana did save that wasted moment where Porto could have made it 4-2. But aside from that, I don't really think he was that convincing. Although I did mention earlier that with Samu Omorodoyin, his goals, he aced it beyond Onana's reach on both accounts. So, but I think I'll say Onana was mediocre at best.
Yeah,
and plus he wasn't tested enough in the second half, so
I'm not saying it was
trash. Get away with
garbage. I'm not saying it was trash or garbage. I just felt like he was mid or underwhelming. You know, he wasn't that amazing. That's what I was trying to say. You know, I mean, both keepers were bad, to be honest with you. Both keepers weren't that great, for being real. The difference should be able to name him. Almighty. Also, never said he was a Maldini type player. Now, low. Send out. If you play well but balls to go lead, that's not a great thing. That was on. Come on, you acting like he was. There's no excuse for Maguire. Tell me how.
Harry Maldini.
Oh my jeez. Some of this is still. This is all thanks to Ronaldo. He had to leave. Expose the club. Make his own league to change United. Oh man, Albert. Ronaldo, man. You know, to be fair, Ronaldo is kind of right though. Like this club is actually disgraceful. Like how have they not changed? Like he said, like the conditions of the stadium hasn't been changed since he was there as a player. Like that's actually disgraceful. That's actually embarrassing. That's actually really bad. I'm sorry, that's really bad. How is the pitch is still the same when Ronaldo was there the first time? Matt, do you think that's bad?
Yeah, there's it's poor management by the Glazers.
Yeah, so yeah, Ronaldo, man, he is right. He is right. Now, to be fair, he did maybe expose the club too much. So obviously, United would obviously keep him, but he says some truth. But like United have been down bad so many years, man. Ralph Ragnick exposed his club. Ronaldo exposed. Who else exposed his club?
That was actually the first time he did an interview that season.
Yeah, Mourinho, I think, also exposed his club. Like
Ragnick exposed the club.
Yeah. I just said Ragnick. So yeah, man.
Oh, I
Also,
thought you
he didn't play
said.
battle.
I thought you said somebody else.
Yeah. All it says they didn't play battle the time nowadays, basically. Excuse for being relegated 4 times. Those are not reliable. Those are not excuses. Those are facts. I should appoint Roy Keane as last season. Roy Keane will
I
save
mean,
his club.
I'm sure he provide the man management, but would the tactics really be there?
Obviously, I think Harvey's joking around. I like to see that because he likes to talk it all like he knows it all. He should be a Fergie's successor. It's one of the center backs, in my opinion. Man United went for Roy Keane to Fernandez. Jose isn't USA's club captain anymore. Yeah, like I believe it's Tyler Adams. I think Adams is the captain.
I don't. I think Pulisic has been keeping the armbands and
I
and
think
stuff
Pulisic is
and
vice captain. I think Pulisic
but
is vice captain.
Pulisic was captain at Copa America and Adams was featuring.
Oh, maybe they changed that. I guess. Well, I remember the World Cup. Adams was captain. I remember very well. I get maybe they changed it, but anyways, the point I'm trying to make, the point we're trying to make is that Pulisic. I still don't. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was right covers to Tottenham. Fair enough. Yeah, but that did get repealed, so yeah. Jose is the USA captain anymore. This one will get appealed. McGuire's maybe your best options up there, so that's not a great thing. At least Ramos was world class. Who's in the USA captain?
Ramos wasn't world class. He was
Mm.
good to slightly great, but not world class. Mate. Yeah, Christian Pulisic is still Captain America.
It's Martinez. He's decent at best. Perez is a nowhere near world class. Bruno today is good. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just don't think he's that amazing. That's what I'm trying to say. He's a good, decent player. But this is what I said before. I'm going to say this again. If your best player is Bruno Fernandes, that's bad. He cannot be
He's
your best player.
influential and effective at best.
Yeah, but he can't. He shouldn't be your number one guy. That's what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
That's what I'm trying to say. And I don't think Bruno is that amazing. He's a good player. I'm not saying he's a terrible player. I'm not saying he's that bad. I still think United should keep him. I still think he should be part of the club. Now, Rashford, I think he should be sold. Rashford, I would if I was United manager, I would sell Rashford. But Bruno, I would still keep him. Maybe not be captain, but still keep Bruno. I think Bruno's still good. He's gonna be some mess. Fernandez is nowhere near class. People really say he's better than KDB. That was crazy. When people said that, that's crazy. That was really disrespectful. On his day, man. I said, stop, I stand by that. All right, fair enough. Fernandez just a Portuguese threat. Okay, now that I think is a bit harsh. I don't think I think it's a bit too far. So you overrated it or not. Fernandez and Gorjar are the same thing. Hideous footballers. Ooh, I think that's a bit harsh to Gerard. I don't know. I don't think I agree with that. So on his day, even on his day, he's decent best. Gerard was a good footballer. Long page merchant. Or he was still start for Man United. Might have got dominated by James Miller. Rashford Martinelli is good in comparison. Rashford to have a purple patch. Um, under Bannister, but fall when it matters. Rashford is a B-Tech Walcott. Theo Walcott, man. Theo Walcott. Oh, man. That's a dodge a bullet. Man City used to have so many center back flops, so it wouldn't surprise me if Maguire flopped there. Because every player who goes to United falls up. That's true. Man United used to have so many club captains. They used to have club captains like Keane, Neville, Rooney, Vidic, etc. Yeah, Fernandez is not on this caliber of players. That's 100%. He doesn't have the mentality of those guys. We agree with that. United have players like Rio Scholes, Chicharito, and now they have Lindelof, Rashford, Johnny Evans. Don't forget Phil Jones. Oh my jeez. Cavani survived the United fall off effect, but he couldn't break at Valencia. Oh, honestly, you had a goalkeeper. I think I agree with Sarri on this one. He got dropped by Cameroon the last AFCON after the disaster class with Senegal. Look at the 2008 Man United team compared to the current team. CR7 was right to expose them. Mourinho, CR7, Van Hal, Ragnick, Sir, all had problems with Man United. What? Bro said Ramos wasn't world class. Senegal legacy equals Anthony. Man, stop. 80, so don't let it slide. Ramos a defender. I would sell Fernandez. Nah, I don't think you should sell. I don't think you should sell him. I think he should still be in the squad, but I don't think he should be sold. But that's just my opinion. But it is what it is. At least I was on the talk to exactly 80. All right, fair enough. So I think we're about to wrap it up here, man. An hour and 45 minutes. This Europa League discussion. Obviously, we have international break coming up next week. I'll be doing a Q&A video responding to your guys' questions. So then maybe I'll do an unlisted video for those that answer the other tab. So I'll be doing that, of course. And yeah, Matt, anything from you to before we round off?
Not much regarding the review. I think what I said earlier about the game speaks for itself. The next Europa League game, match day 3, is going to be a must-win because Porto are at home again, and it's to Anderlecht. And then not only is it the most winnable game so far, but given the start, Porto have got to win it because after that game they play Lazio away.
Looking at the table right here, guys, I want to show you guys we're not going to show the Conference League table. It's only been one match day, but the Europa League, we'll look at this real quick. So as you can see, wow, Lazio's first is crazy. 8th is Galatasaray. So as things stand, this will be the top 8. Anderlecht, wow, that'd be insane. At the bottom is Besiktas, yeah. And Porto is 24th, and Man United is 21st. So dang, Porto barely makes the knockaround playoffs as things stand. Wow. Obviously, I know there's 6 match days to go, but still, just wanted to round off there. So, anyways, hope you guys did enjoy today's stream. Please remember to like and subscribe. Of course, subscribe to Matt's channel as well. Of course, we'll be doing some international content over the break. I assume, right? So, yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe. And yeah, let's go read some of you guys' last comments we were around up. Mitoma over Fernandez. Yeah, I'd probably say in current form. I still think Fernandez overall is a better player than. I mean, overall, I still think Fernandez is a better player, but Mitoma right now is currently better, probably. Ramos is the top 3 center back in the world for so many years. Yeah, I think Ramos is still a great center back. He's still an amazing center back. He's got a lot of leadership and mentality. Sure, his defending may not be the best. I still don't think it's as good as Maldini and those other guys, but he's still a very good center back. I still think
his better. Yeah, he's always been a good defender and especially at centre back. But I think his best attributes were scoring from headers and his leadership.
Yeah. Sports support. Well, peace out, guys. Good night. Sorry, Sarge, disrespect my tonight. Low. Ramos is top 3. I'm just most important players. You can maybe make an argument of that. I don't know the top 3, but he's definitely top 10. He's definitely top 10. Where he ranks in the top 10?
He might be top 3 on non-playability wise.
I don't know, but yeah, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see if Eric Ten Hag gets sacked. And by the way, if Eric Ten Hag gets sacked, we might have to do an emergency stream on the channel. So we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, I was that reminded me. Earlier I was thinking, would it be worth having a look to see if there's any updates on the Ten Hag matter?
I don't think he's been sacked yet. Yet. I feel like if Ten Hag is going to get sacked, it will happen during international break. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think it's going to. I think he's at least going to get the game against
Villa.
Aston Villa.
Yeah, top 5 for me. Yeah, he's definitely top 10. Where he ranks in the top 10, that's really hard. I don't know if it's on that. We'll have to say that's the stream for another time. So he's definitely top 10. I think we can all agree with that. Anyone that disagrees, you're just an idiot. I'm sorry, I'm saying this right now. You're an idiot if you disagree with that.
Well, he's a legend for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, hope you guys did enjoy. Remember, guys, to like and subscribe, and peace out. And we did get reach 15 likes.
See you guys.